श्रीवासराघवगुरोस्तनयं ततश्च विद्या अवाप्य विबुधोत्तमतां दधानं कुर्वे सदा हृदि गुरुं करुणाकराख्यम् लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये मातापिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामम् श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वय भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकालयतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम् श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि. A very quick recap of what we had in the previous lecture. We saw a shloka by Swami Vedanta Deshika. Manivara iva shaurer nitya hridyopi jivaha. Like Kaustubha Mani, the jiva has such an exalted position. Yet, Kalushamatiravindhan kinkaratvaadhi rajyam. Due to Kalushamati, due to inherent defects in its own karma, it has not been able to be in that original place that it deserves. Why? I was deserving of it, but then I did something wrong. Therefore, I could not attain it. Should we understand that the jiva fell down, that it was originally there with Bhagavan and then came off? No, no. But it was already loved so much by Bhagavan and it had the opportunity to attain moksha. In every life, we had an opportunity to attain moksha and we missed it. Then, due to our own bad karma, we took more and more births. Sometimes we were born as things that did not have the necessary intelligence to understand the concept of moksha or sharanagati. Either we have to understand by ourselves or some great Mahan has to help us, has to perform sharanagati on our behalf. That never happened for us, therefore we are still here on earth today. So it is not as though we have fallen, but we are lowly because of our own karma. So we are not saying that we are sinners by nature or impure by nature. Jivatma is 100% pure by nature. But due to karma, that too bad karma, we are in this position. If we change ourselves, we will automatically realize the real nature of Jivatma and go behind the real nature of Paramatma and attain moksha. So, vidhiparinati bhedat vikshitastena kale. Like a prince who was born in the forest but was lost by the parents. He was brought up by the hunters, the tribals in the forest. How would he be expected to behave? Like a tribal only? A parrot that is brought up by a butcher would speak like a butcher only. So, where you are is going to decide what kind of person you are going to be. Upbringing matters a lot. So, if we have enough punya karma, if we have done enough good things, then by chance, seeing a small window of opportunity, Bhagavan will immediately use it to give us satsanga. Once we get satsanga, we will, with their help, be able to get out of karma and avidya. We will get out of ignorance. We will perform proper karma. At the same time, we would not seek the results of that karma. We would surrender ourselves completely to Bhagavan and attain moksha. This is the concept. Now, let us think about, since in the class before this, in lecture 49, we discussed about bhakti. Now, here in lecture 50, we saw about how you have to get out of karma and avidya. What should you do for that? Sharanagati. How do you get to do it? With bhakti. About that bhakti, we saw somewhat in lecture 49. We will see more about it today. In fact, what we will see today is a very popular topic. It is Navadha Bhakti. Hiranyakashipu was ruling. At that time, Hiranyaksha threw Prithvi into Pralaya Samudra. From there, Bhagavan took the avatar of Varaha and saved the earth. Varaha fought with Hiranyaksha and killed him. Hiranyakashipu already considered Vishnu as an enemy. After his brother's death, he was all the more angry. He thought Vishnu Bhakti should be completely stopped. So he passed an order saying Vishnu Bhakti should be completely stopped. People should worship only Hiranyakashipu. Anybody who is seen worshipping Vishnu will be tortured or killed, something like that. Maybe both. He wanted his son Prahlada to study. Prahlada, everybody is supposed to know the story. Prahlada was born when Hiranyakashipu was performing tapasya and Indra had attacked the city. Narada saved the child by saving the mother. The mother resided in his ashrama, and Narada taught about Vishnu as well as bhakti. Whatever was learned from Narada by Prahlada when the latter was still in the garbha of his mother is what he remembers and later speaks out. So this shloka, we always say Navadha Bhakti has been taught by Prahlada. Where did Prahlada learn it from? He learned it from Narada. Narada is a great scholar, very great person, not to be thought of as simply a troublemaker or some troll who goes here and there and speaks lies and causes kalaha. Narado kalaha priyaha is there, but that he does that he does because of a curse. And furthermore, Narada does it in such a way that the ending will always be good. Now, in this particular case, Narada fueled the anger of Hiranyakashipu against Prahlada. But for him to do that also, an opportune time was needed. So Hiranyakashipu wanted to send his son to study. His original Rajaguru was Shukracharya. Shukracharya is the one who had advised him to go perform tapasya and everything. But right now, Shukracharya himself was not available. Shukracharya had gone to Himalayas to perform tapasya. Therefore, Hiranyakashipu called the two sons of Shukracharya. He called the son of Shukracharya and said, I will give you the responsibility of teaching my son. Okay, they said. They took him, they taught him. One day, Hiranyakashipu felt like seeing Prahlada. And when he saw, he asked, they say you have mastered the Vedas. Why don't you tell me what you have learned? At that time, Prahlada said this. Where is the story? The story is present in Srimad Bhagavatam. So the shloka is also from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is from the 7th canto. So Prahlada says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoh Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Mandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. Iti pumsarpita Vishnau bhaktischennava kriyeta bhagavatyadhya tanmanyedhitamuttamam. Prahlada says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho. These words are quite simple, right? What does Shravana mean? Listening. Kirtana, that is singing or reciting. Vishnoho, implying you don't hear about anything and everything, don't sing about anything and everything. All the nine that are going to be said, they should be Vishnoho. In matters pertaining to Vishnu. About Vishnu, you listen. About Vishnu, you sing. About Vishnu, you think and contemplate. Pada Sevanam. How do you do Pada Sevanam? A question came. Bhagavan exists in 5 ways, right? Para, we cannot see him before moksha. Vyuha, we cannot see him before moksha. Vibhava, he came and left. We don't have the opportunity to see him. Prahlada had the opportunity. He saw Narasimha later. But this is even before that. Prahlada has seen neither Varaha nor Narasimha at this point of time when the shloka was said by him. Antaryami, he is inside. How can you do Pada Sevana of Antaryami? Therefore, Pada Sevanam is something that you can do only for the Vigraha. When you say Vishnoho Pada Sevanam, how can you do the Pada Sevana of Vishnu? You do Pada Seva of a Vigraha of Vishnu. That is the Archavatara, fifth type of avatar. So Srimad Bhagavatam is completely supportive of Vigraha Pratishta and worship. Not only Srimad Bhagavatam, there is basis for Vigraha worship even in the Vedas. Only certain modern people are of the opinion that it is not so. So, in his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, Veeraraghavacharya says, if you do not accept Pada Sevana of Archa, the only way by which you can do is in your imagination. You will think of Vishnu and imagine yourself to do Pada Seva to him. That is okay. That is a great thing. But physically, if you want to do, the only possible way is to do it to the Vigraha. And Bhagavan himself has revealed the Shastra by which we can install and worship his Vigrahas. And it is about Pada Sevana. We will see it in detail again later. Then comes Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. What are these? Not very difficult, quite easy to understand. You perform Archana, you perform Vandana. Do you perform Dasya? Dasya is a feeling of being a servant, right? Archana is what you perform, you do some kind of worship. Ideally, that is also done to Vigraha. Vandana is also done by us in the temple or to the Shalagrama. How do you show Dasya? Servitude cannot be shown by us, or can it? Dasyam can be shown by us. How? Remember the rules of Sharanagati, the 6 angas of Sharanagati. Anukulyasya sankalpaha. Behave the way that attracts him, that pleases him. Do those things that please Bhagavan. Pratikulyasya varjanam. Avoid those things that displease him. When you do those two things, you are automatically obeying everything that he is saying. But is that all there is to Dasya? Or is there something more? There is something more. How do we know it? Because The next word is Sakhyam. This Sakhyam, what does it refer to? It means friendship. Now, if I am a friend also, if I am a good friend, I could very well do things that pleases my friend and avoid things that displease my friend. I don't have to be a dasa to do that. I could do it as a sakha as well. But dasya is something that comes to us when we understand that he is Parama Karunika. He is the greatest, despite being the greatest, with extreme compassion. He has been coming and taking avatars. He has helped us. He keeps helping us at every point of life. Understanding all of that, we feel humble. We feel the need to be of service to him. We realize that we are dasas only in reality. He may not be treating us that way. He may not say, come here, do this, do that. He may not be forcing us. But our real nature is to be his dasas. And understanding that, we have to perform service to him. So do it as a service. Do it lovingly as a friend. You think of him as a friend. Sugriva did not have dasya bhava. Did he? Sugriva saw Rama as a friend. Hanuman saw Rama as a lord. Lakshmana and Hanuman were proud of considering themselves as Ramadasas. Sugriva considered himself a great friend of Rama. Rama accepted that as well. He accepted friendship. But the most important of all, Atma Nivedanam. You surrender yourself. Offer yourself to Bhagavan. Iti pumsarpita Vishnu bhakti chet nava lakshana. There are 9 lakshanas of bhakti. Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Pada Sevana, Archana, Vandana, Dasya, Sakhya, Atmanivedana. Kriyeta Bhagavatya Tanmanye Adhitam Uttamam. These are the best things to do. Now, let us try to understand Shravanam in greater detail. Shravanam, we are listening. Listening about what? Vishnu. Listening about Vishnu. Remember, Prahlada was a Vishnu Bhakta. He said Shravanam Vishnu. That is what triggered Hiranyakashipu. If in the entire shloka, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, if he had said all of that, and instead of saying Vishnu, he had said Pituhu, referring to Hiranyakashipu, the father, the latter would have been very happy. But Prahlada specifically used the word Vishnu, and in the next shloka he will say Vishnu. These are what trigger Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu is not against Navadha Bhakti. He is against Navadha Bhakti to Vishnu. Furthermore, he doesn't like people who behave as great bhaktas. The way he then scolds the Guru. What have you taught? Is this what you have taught Prahlada? He scolds. At that time, we can understand. But anyway, let us come back to Shravana. What all can we listen to? To remember in a simple way, Veeraraghavacharya, in his commentary on Bhagavatam, he said, Swarupa, Rupa, Guna, Vibhuti. Do Shravana of these 4. Swarupa, his nature, Rupa, his form. Guna, his qualities. Vibhuti, his possessions. We are categorizing it in a slightly different way for easier understanding. We are saying, listen to his names. Why? Kalau Nama Sankirtanam, it has been said, it is easier to listen to his names than listen to his Swarupa. If you want to listen to his Swarupa, somebody has to describe his Swarupa to you. Finding such people is difficult, but finding people who recite the names is easy. Therefore, listen to the name. As an example, when people recite Vishnu Sahasranama, Vishnor Nama Sahasram Meshrunu Papa Bhayavaham, said Bhishma. Correct? Bhishma said, listen to the 1,000 names of Vishnu. Or there are other options that we have. Like what? Many people have this habit. After finishing the recitation of Vishnu Sahasranama and the Phalashruti, after that they recite the Panchayudha Stotra. After that they recite Dvadasha Nama Panjari. Have you heard? Purastat Keshavah Patu, it starts. So from Keshava, it starts. Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana, Trivikrama, Vamana, Sridhara, Rishikesha, Padmanabha, Damodara. All the 12 names are covered. You can listen. So either a list of names or some stotra that is containing the names, like Dvadashanama Panjari, which is totally fine. Or what else can you do? Parvati asked Shiva, good people who are unable to recite properly the Vishnu Sahasranama, how will they learn it? Or how will they recite? How will they get the phala? Kenopayana laghuna Vishnurnama Sahasrakam Padyate Panditairnatyam Shrotumichamyaham Prabhu. And Shiva said, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane. Just say Shri Rama Rama Rama. Rama is a single name. Just say Rama Rama Rama. We have seen this before. Gaudiyas, they say Rama thrice or say just Krishna once. They will still give you the same phala. Doesn't matter. If you say even Rama once, you can get the phala. But the bhava is important, the past karma is important, all of those are there. Next comes Rupa. So first was Nama, second we are seeing Rupa. How do you listen to his Rupa? We listen about his Rupa. We listen how he looks. We listen to how beautiful his eyes are. For example, there is a part where we are supposed to do dhyana of Vishnu before reciting Vishnu Sahasranamam, starting from Vishwam Vishnu Vashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. There is a part where Bhagavan is described. Sashankha Chakram, Sakirida Kuntalam, Sapita Vastram, Sarasiruhekshanam, Sahara Vakshas Talasobi Kaustubham, Namami Vishnum Shirasa Chaturbhujam. It is describing how he looks in a particular way, along with Shankha and Chakra, with Kirita and Kundala. All of those are being listed. So that is one way. For those who are adhikaris, those who have learned Vishnu Sahasranama, when they are reciting, the others are there listening. They can listen about these. Or you listen to songs about him. Are, are there songs of describing his form? Yes, there are many. Think about it this way. Yeah, there is this song Padmanabha Paramapurusha. What does it say? Padmanabha Paramapurusha Param Jyoti Swarupa. How can I imagine Param Jyoti Swarupa? Okay, but you are at least listening to it, right? Vidura Vandya Vimala Charita Vihangadi Rohana Udadhi Nivasa Uraga Shayana. So Udadhi Nivasa, we can imagine. Yes, he is there in Kshira Sagara. Udaga Shayana, he is doing Shayana, reclining on Adishesha. All of those things we can imagine. There are so many songs, right? Kamala Asati Mukha, Kamala Kamala Hita, Kamala Priya, Kamalekshana, Kamala Asana Hita, Garudaga Manashri, Kamala Nabhani, Pada Kamala Me Sharanu. This is from the song Sriman Narayana. So that song talks about him and it says, we surrender to your lotus feet. Such beautiful lyrics. Great saints have come. Great saints. They have composed very great music. We can listen to that. Listening will give us the phala. But if we want something more, if we want the best out of it, we should not just listen, but we should also contemplate. What do you mean by contemplating? I listen to the description and then I imagine it and I think about it continuously. We'll come to that. His vibhuti. Vibhuti includes a lot of things. What all he owns is called vibhuti. His possessions. What does he possess? What does he not possess? Everything is his possession only. You see his clothes, you see Vaikuntha, which is his abode. The Nityasuris, he possesses the servants called Nityasuris who are always there. Yatra purve sadhyas santi devahas is the Veda. So, the Nityasuris are there. You think about them. How many different ways are there? Panchayudha Stotra, composed by Adi Shankaracharya. It praises the five Ayudhas of Vishnu. It doesn't directly talk about Vishnu. It talks about the greatness of the Ayudhas used by Vishnu. Sudarshana Ashtakam, composed by Swami Deshika. Very easy to recite. It is about Sudarshana Chakra. So you can do that. There is nothing wrong. Somebody is describing Vaikuntha as explained in the scriptures, as explained in Puranas, and as explained in the Agamas. Somebody is explaining, or as explained in the Veda itself. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasya Amritan Divi is an explanation of Vaikuntha. Listen to all of that, or listen to his Kalyana Gunas. Gunas, there are two ways to listen to about them. Hence, I have written qualities and leelas. One is you keep one quality and then listen about that one quality, about the compassion of Rama, about the attraction of Krishna. He has infinite auspicious qualities, each one of infinite measure. So we can go on and on and on listening about his qualities. It will never end. He could have just come once and gone, but he did not stop at that. Bhagavan says, Sambhavami yuge yuge. Again and again, he has come and gone in so many different forms. He has done so much. There are so many stories to listen to that talk about his great qualities. They will never end. They will never be boring. You can keep on listening. Some people say, focus on the qualities. Some people say, we focus on Bhagavan himself. How? The Leelas of Bhagavan. What he did, his activities, everything he did in all of his avatars was a Leela. We have seen before itself creation, preservation, destruction, even they are Leelas of Bhagavan. So, Bhagavan does so many Leelas. Listening to them increases the love that we have for him. What is the purpose of all this? To increase our love for him. Why? Because this is a type of bhakti. What is bhakti? Sneha purva manudhyanam. That sneha has to be built. It has to be increased more and more and more. We saw about that before, right? We saw parabhakti, parajnana, paramabhakti. So you keep increasing the love for Bhagavan. That is what you are doing. How many leelas he has done, especially Krishna. Rama's life, many people don't understand. They think it is very boring. It is not really boring, but that is the common perception. But you talk about Krishna, everybody will love to listen about Krishna. That is how he is. Leela Vinoda. So think about his Swarupa, think about his Rupa, think about his Guna, think about his Vibhuti. After Shravana, ideally, you should also do Manana and Nididhyasana. Have you heard of this anywhere? Yes, the Veda has said Atma Vare Drashtavyaha Shrotavyo Mantavyo Nididhyasitavyaha. So, because the Veda has said it, you understand that it has to be done. I will listen, then I will keep it in my mind, and then I will think about it again and again. Smarana, and then continuously contemplate on it. That will happen at an even later stage. So, this is about Shravana. There is Kirtana also. You sing about him. Hmm? If a person says, I am not good at singing, what should I do? You don't have to be perfect at singing or anything. If you are able to recite, or even if you are singing, maybe not so appropriate way, but you are singing in a mood full of bhakti, Bhagavan will still accept it with the flaws because Bhagavan is bhavagrahi. So Kirtanam, what can I sing about? I can sing about the name. You know, this happened once. My two younger cousin sisters had come to the house. My father and I were reciting Vishnu Sahasranama. Morning time, right? Or during puja sometime, we were reciting Vishnu Sahasranama. After that, the cousin sister pointed out. She was a school child back then. I was also probably in school, don't remember. She came and said, you are reciting everything, but you are not singing it like MS Subbulakshmi. Why are you not singing like her? What is the difference? It is the name of Vishnu. We are not failing. But the way in which MS Subbulakshmi recited, it is that her audio is extremely popular. She couldn't recall it, right? The Kanchi Shankaracharya told her to recall Lalita Sahasranama and Vishnu Sahasranama. She successfully recalled Lalita Sahasranama but was not able to recall Vishnu Sahasranama, unfortunately. But what was unfortunate for her? It created fortune for people because people who would otherwise never recite Vishnu Sahasranama, they also started listening to it. So, in a way, it was good. It could be argued. Now, what had happened? She sang with such a bhakti bhava. You listen to any song of MS Subbulakshmi, you will see how she is getting drenched in the ocean of bhakti. You will also get drenched in the ocean of bhakti. You will get drenched in the rain, you will sink into the ocean of bhakti. That level of bhakti. So you can do Shravana, of course, of Kirtana, but you can do Kirtana yourself also. You sing, you recite, or you simply say the names, chant the names of Bhagavan, describe his auspicious form, describe his abode, describe the Nitya Suris. Abode, Nitya Suris, they all constitute the Vibhuti, Nitya Vibhuti. Bhagavan is Ubhaya Vibhuti Natha. He is the Lord of Leela Vibhuti and Nitya Vibhuti. What is Leela Vibhuti? It is our material universe. What is Nitya Vibhuti? It is the eternal abode of Vaikuntha that we attain after moksha. He is the Lord of both of them. He resides in both of them, controls both of them. But in Leela Vibhuti, we see problems because there is Rajas and Tamas. In Nitya Vibhuti, we don't see that. There is only Sattva. Sing about his auspicious qualities. He has infinite auspicious qualities. Sing about them. Sing about his Leelas. Keep celebrating him. How is this really going to help us? Shravana will help us in a number of ways. If we don't know about him, we get to learn about him. If we don't have time to speak or the ability to speak or recite, we will still get to hear about him. Ahara means anything that is taken inside. Even seeing, listening, feeling, all of them come under ahara. Whatever I see is also ahara in a way. So if I listen to Bhagavan's auspicious qualities or names, good things are entering inside. That is a great thing. When I sing, I am taking the effort with my Sharira to sing about him. That will again make it stronger in my memory. And the fact that I am taking an effort, there is going to be a phala for that as well. That is there. So that is about Kirtana. Then comes Smaranam. Smarana means what? Thinking, recollecting. Think about him. Whenever you get time, you think about Bhagavan. You say, see Bhagavan, hear Bhagavan, think about Bhagavan. Everything you do it about Bhagavan only. You think about Vishnu. What can I think about? I can think about names. In my mind, I can simply be reciting Vishwam Vishnurva Shatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. Or I could think about the meanings of names. Take the same Sahasranama. Adi Shankaracharya has composed a commentary on Vishnu Sahasranama. Parashara Bhatta has also composed a commentary on Vishnu Sahasranama. Think about the meanings of the names and think about the associated Leelas. That would be a very beautiful exercise to undertake. My Venerable Acharya composed a book on Vishnu Sahasranama. He has also done a lot, right, about Lakshmi Ashtottara, Lakshmi Sahasranama. He has written commentaries on them. On each name, explaining the meaning of the name and also telling one story so that we can remember a story associated with Bhagavan. It helps us to remember better. It also helps us to have that anubhava. So sometimes when I think of some name, I will immediately remember the story mentioned by my Acharya about that, something related to that topic, or something that shows that Bhagavan possesses this exact guna. It is a very nice thing to. But is that the only thing that we can think about? Not necessarily. There are many other things that we can think about. One is thinking about his form. Now, a person might ask, if I think about his name, let us say reciting his name gives me punya. If I think about his leelas, it will increase affection for him. If I think about the meanings of names, maybe there would be a psychological effect because his names will describe his qualities. His qualities are completely auspicious qualities. So, if I'm going to think about his auspicious qualities, maybe I will also start getting good qualities. But what am I going to get if I think about his form? This happened about a decade ago. One Muslim person on Facebook, he saw my profile picture. I had the photo of Vaduvur Rama. He sent me a message. Please don't misunderstand. I am genuinely curious. You have put the photo and the caption says Vaduvur Rama. Some other person puts some other Rama. Some other person puts some other Rama. Let us say somebody has put Ayodhya Ram Lalla. Now that we have Ram Lalla this year. How do you know that this is exactly how he looked? The same Bhagavan. Ignore Ram Lalla for now. He is child. The grown-up Bhagavan also. In different temples, he looks different. How do you know which one of those is correct? I told him, we know all of them to be correct because all of them are made as per the description. As per the description given in the scriptures, all of them have been made. But he asked, okay, the Vigraha has been made as per what the scriptures have said, but that means the scriptures have not described completely because the Vigrahas look so different from each other. How do you know what Rama really looked like? He couldn't have looked like all of these at once. He either looked like one of these or none of these. But how are you going to know? You are going to contemplate on forms of Bhagavan that you yourself are not confident of. You don't even know whether he took those. At that time, I replied by saying, no, these are also forms taken by Bhagavan. These forms are the Archa forms. We should always remember that the Vigrahas of Bhagavan that we see in temples, in Vaishnava temples, all of them are as ordained by Bhagavan. They are all his avatars only. How can you call Vigraha as an avatar? When he came as Rama, he did so much. When he came as Vigraha, what did he do? He did a lot of things. He did a lot of things for his devotees. Staying there in statue form, he did everything. Rajaji said, famously said, Kurayondrum illai Maraimurti Kanna. Kundrin mel kallagi nirkindra varada. How he talks about Bhagavan at various temples. He talks about Malayappa, who does not say no to any request of the devotees. Yadu Markada Malayappa. So, when he says Varada also, what does Varada mean? Varan Dadati iti Varada. Varada means giver of boons. So, if he is standing as Varadaraja in Kanchipuram, It means he is a giver of boons. So he is doing so many things. Archa Vigraha is to be taken as an avatar of Bhagavan. It is a slightly different type of avatar. Therefore, it would be not so easy for people to understand the concept. So the form, which is ideally that of a Vigraha, because Vigraha Pratishtha happens as per Pancharatra or Vaikhanasa, both have ultimately come from him only. Or at least if you know what the scriptures say about what he looked like. And accordingly, there is some photo or image that you have. You contemplate on that, some painting maybe. The word of caution here is these days, people make all sorts of photos. You shouldn't contemplate on a photo that makes you feel good. You should contemplate on a photo whether or not it makes you feel good. If that photo is describing Bhagavan as he is described by the scriptures. This is a very important thing because if you contemplate imperfectly, you will not get the perfect result. So that should be kept in mind when we are thinking about his forms. Don't think about any image simply because it went viral. Some months back, there was a photo of Rama going viral on the internet. AI was asked what Rama looked like. Based on all the Sanskrit shlokas and scriptures, AI generated this particular photo of Rama. That was nonsense. That never happened. AI generated a photo of Rama. Yes, that may have happened. But the photo that was being circulated was not Vaidika. It was not appropriate. It was not as per the descriptions of the scriptures. So don't go behind any and every photo. Contemplate ideally on the Vigraha of Bhagavan. If that is not possible, then you think about some image or painting that is as per the Shastra. At least that much can be done, right? His vibhutis, you can think about the ayudhas that he has. They also have leelas. Sudarshana Chakra played a very important leela in Mahabharata by blocking the sun and helping Arjuna to kill Jayadratha. There are many other important roles played by Sudarshana. There are so many things done by him in Mahabharata itself. But how would you know? You need a Shravana. Okay, I did Shravana. I have now understood. What should I do? Smarana. You think about them. That is a great thing to do. Or you can think about his auspicious qualities. Valmiki was thinking about auspicious qualities. He asked Narada, Kon vasmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmajnascha kritagnyascha satyavakyo dridavratah. In this way, he asks for a person with 16 qualities. Why? Valmiki is attracted by auspicious qualities. So he wants to know who is there who possesses all such qualities. Is there such a person? So, being attracted by the qualities, Valmiki learns that there is a person called Rama when Narada replies. So if the qualities are the ones that are going to be more important than Bhagavan himself, you think about the qualities. They anyway are the qualities of Bhagavan only. So by reciting his qualities or by thinking about his qualities, you get to adore him. Look at how beautiful that Leela is. Look at how truthful he is. Look at how he is solving problems without speaking lies. So many things you can adore him for. And we can further inculcate Kalyana Gunas. We can see his great qualities and live that way. We can inculcate those habits, practices, and so on. That is another benefit. So we should be able to think about him so that we think more about him. We appreciate him so that we appreciate him more and more. And we become more and more inclined to him. We increase bhakti in that way. You think about his Kalyana Gunas, you think about his Leelas, all of them will lead you ultimately only in that direction. I'm unfortunately getting phone calls. I will have to end today's session here. But if there is any question based on what was discussed, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, or anything else discussed in the previous classes or today, please feel free to ask. The topic of bhakti, when it is listened by a bhakta, it is super enjoyable. When it is listened by a non-bhakta, it is dry and boring. But when once you enter that bhakti, once you start showing bhakti to Bhagavan, you will automatically start enjoying the entire process. The 9 ways by which you show bhakti, in them, you don't enjoy just Bhagavan, you also enjoy enjoying Bhagavan. Enjoying of Bhagavan itself is an enjoyment.
Acharya, this is Arun Kulkarni this side. Just want to ask, like this Navavidha Bhakti, can it eradicate all my sins and show me the path for enlightenment?
Yes, it can definitely show you the path for enlightenment. Enlightenment as in moksha. That is how I'll take it.
Yeah,
Because
correct.
you get the ultimate, you get knowledge about the ultimate, then you attain the ultimate, right? So attainment of the ultimate is moksha. So
Correct.
Navadha Bhakti will definitely take people close towards that. No, not just close, it will lead to that. That is what we discussed 2 classes ago about how there is Parabhakti, then Parajnana, and Parama Bhakti. So, it as Bhakti increases, the person becomes more and more attracted to Bhagavan and more does things that Bhagavan likes and avoids things that Bhagavan does not like. Out of love, not out of fear. We don't teach to be afraid of Bhagavan. We teach to love Bhagavan. Bhakti is love for Bhagavan. When this love increases beyond a point, what will happen? Like think about Dasharatha. Dasharatha could not spend time without Rama. He wanted to see Rama again and again. Every now and then he will call Rama to the court. Rama will come to the Sabha. Dasharatha will say, okay, go back, because there is no reason why he called Rama. The only reason is he wanted to see Rama. He was so fond of his son that he called him just to have a look at his son, and then he would enjoy looking at his son. He would enjoy looking at Rama. In that way, that kind of like the feeling, yes, I want to see Bhagavan, I want to see Bhagavan. This feeling, right? This also has a number of levels. Like, for example, my grandfather, when he was old, my paternal grandfather, when he was old and he could no longer see and he could no longer walk also, he could not get up and walk, and his eyesight was also gone. Still he would say, I want, let us go to Sri Rangam, I want to see Ranganatha. Let us go to Sri Rangam, I want to see Ranganatha. He had visited the temple and had darshan so many times that not going there, not seeing Bhagavan for so long was a big problem for him. He can't even get up and stand, he can't even walk, but he wants to go to Sri Rangam and he wants to have darshan of Bhagavan there in that big crowd. That feeling you get only if you have that much love for Bhagavan. You feel that you cannot uh, be separated from him. Bhagavad Ramanuja says, who is Uttama Sadhu. In his Gita Bhashya, Ramanujacharya is explaining. He says, when Bhagavan says Paritranaya Sadhunam, don't just think that he is talking about good people who are tormented by the evil. Also think about those Uttama sadhus. They are the foremost of sadhus. Who are those sadhus? They are people who have so much bhakti for Bhagavan that they think it is not possible to even live for one more instant without looking at him. An instant of separation from Bhagavan is death. People who consider it that way, Atyanta Bhakti Yukta, those kinds of people with so much bhakti. To them, for giving darshan to them, Bhagavan takes avatars. So you will feel that you can no longer stay separated. When you feel you can no longer stay separated, what will you do? You will, I want to unite with Bhagavan. For that, I need moksha. For that, I will do Sharanagati. That will take you to.
Okay, okay. Because what happens, we have heard about some Trotakacharya, like before Trotaka, he was somebody else. The way he's bhakti towards his acharya, and then Kanak Dasaru, like
Yes.
is this bhakti comes based on your past life karmas or is this life only? Because can you put effort to get this bhakti or it is inbuilt in you or how do you like it? Because for me it is sometimes too much. Sometimes again that something pokes into and it deviates. Like, what is that they had special that I am not able to have it?
See, there are indeed, it is a very good question that you have asked. Some people have very good prarabdha karma. In their past lives, they have already done some good karma, due to which in this life they are able to live in this way with proper bhakti and everything. You take the story of Jada Bharata, no? Jada Bharata, how was he living in that life? Why did people think he is living like a Jada? Why did he get that name? Because he, when he was a sage, he thought about the animal just before dying. Then he was born as that animal. He was born as a deer. Then when he was born again, due to his past karma, he knew how he has to live now. He decided to not care about the world. He decided to care only about Bhagavan, only about doing the sadhanas as mentioned by scripture. He stuck to that, right? So some people, yes, their past karma, in their past lives, they would have done something great that in this life they are able to do. Some people, whenever they want to do something, it will be so easy. Some other people, it will be difficult. I'll give you an example. One of my students used to tell me, he said, I have tried visiting Sri Rangam 4 times, but I could not get darshan even once. I told him, how is that possible? We go every year, we have darshan all the time. He was like, no, the crowd was too much. Once the heat was too much, I got dehydrated. Once this happened, once that happened. Once I went close, but they closed it. So something or the other kept happening every time, he said. So I said, when the intention is pure and you are still not able to accomplish it, it means you have prarabdha papa, papa karma from past lives, which is giving results in this life. Some of it will be directly hindering your progress. In fact, papa karma by nature itself, it hinders progress. That is there. But it will directly hinder progress even when you want to have progress. Many people are ajnanis. They have no knowledge about Sanatana Dharma. They have no knowledge about Bhagavan, or even those who know about Bhagavan, they don't know how to worship him properly. Hmm? All of that is there, right? So in the fifth chapter, I think, third shloka, right? Uh, Bhagavan says that, out of so many people, Manushyanam sahasreshu kasyat yatati siddhaye yatatam api yuktanam kaschin mam vetti tatvatah. So even those who are knowing about Bhagavan, they might not have the capability to go and worship him. Even those who have the capability, they may not be able to practice it perfectly. Somewhere or the other, there is hindrance. That hindrance is because of prarabdha karma. How do you get out of it? Very simple. Like what Krishna said, abhyasa and vairagya. You get abhyasa, you get proper formal knowledge, you learn more about him. That will grow your Shravana. You need not necessarily learn concept by concept, but you keep practicing this bhakti, let us say. Okay, you practice bhakti, and then you have vairagya, you have that steadfastness that no, I will definitely achieve this. No matter how many times you fail, at some point of time, the punya karma that you have done, the bhakti that you have shown in this life, that will show you the phala, that will show you the path, that will cancel all the problems that are there in your way. So the solution for sustained bhakti, the formal solution for sustained bhakti, that there is sapta prakriti chintanam, right? Sorry, what do they call it? Not sapta prakriti chintanam. What do they call it? Sadhana saptakam. Sadhana saptakam is taught by Bhagavad Ramanuja and Shri Bhashya. There are 7 types of sadhanas to perform, but even when you go to perform those sadhanas to get sustained bhakti, again hindrances might come. What will ultimately, it is this bhakti only that is going to save you. Bhakti is the solution, the easiest way to get out of problems. I tried to do this, like what happened to Brahma. Brahma wanted to perform Ashwamedha in Kanchipuram, in Satyavrata Kshetra. But he was not able. Some hindrance or the other kept coming. Each time some hindrance came, how did he get out of it? By praying to Bhagavan, that's all. Ultimately, it is that Sharanagati that is going to save you. You surrender to him. If you are unable to surrender to him, you say, I am unable to surrender to you by using my own effort. You take me in. You make me surrender. That is also, that feeling is also that of surrender only.
Correct.
We call it. We call it as the feeling of helplessness. By my own effort, I cannot do anything. I am helpless. But by his will, he can do it. Not his effort. For him, it is not an effort, but it is just will. By his will, he can definitely make it happen. Therefore, surrender to him.
Thank you, Acharya.
Any other question? Okay, if there's no other question, we will conclude the class for today. Shri Vatsavam Shakala Shodhati Kaustubhasya Shri Vasaraghava Gurostanayam Tatasya Vidyavapya Vibhudottamatam Dadhanam Kurbe Sadahari Gunam Karunakarakyam. Thank you for attending.
Thank you.